Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. This one is different than the past couple of ones that I've been posting because this one we're gonna talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. This past Friday, Friday the 13th, Gypsy had a book signing over at the Garden District Bookshop in New Orleans. And oh boy, there's been a ton of controversy around that, but we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about her book, My Time to Stand, a memoir by Gypsy Rose. And we're gonna talk specifically about the reviews, and we're going to take a look at them together. Are you ready? Let's do this. Here we have this one on December 10th. It's a 5-star review, and it says some of these reviews are deplorable. She's a human being, whatever. Somebody sweeping for Gypsy, right? But then here come the actual reviews from people who are not blind to the BS that is Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So this one says, bought with credits on accident, and it's a 1-star review. Well, you're welcome for the donation, Grifty Nose. I accidentally purchased this with my credits, so won't let me return it. So I read it. Was very telling that the beginning author's notes disclaims this is not a product of facts and rather just the memories of yours. Memories you created in order to justify and live with your crime. It's at best a fictional delusion you've concocted and wanted to make money off of. Grifty has a microdeletion that made all of her surgeries she actually had necessary and even explains wheelchair usage to an extent. She had muscle weakness from her microdeletion. Yes, the both exaggerated claims, but in any medical record shown, every surgery she needed was necessary due to an issue from her microdeletion. This is just her poor attempt to save face for the public while also cashing in. Just from the writer's notes in the beginning, though, discredit all information given from the moment forward. But FYI, to anyone purchasing this book or Audible version, even with credits, it still gives a percentage of money to Grifty Nose. So save your money. It's a bunch of lies trying to defend her decision to take Dee Dee's life, and in doing so, taking away the ability to actually defend herself. Grifty Nose and her lawyers diagnosed a deceased woman with MBP, which is impossible. Dee Dee was never diagnosed with MBP while alive. Now, MBP stands for Munchausen by proxy, for those of you who don't know. They were both being investigated for fraud, and Grifty Nose was an adult, so would have went down with Dee Dee. That's why she took this way out, less jail time and playing victim card. Edit. The first 10 pages alone are truly telling if you really pay attention. She spends pages going on about the final straw, and the main reason for the act of the murder was an exploratory surgery on her vocal glands that Dee Dee wanted her to have. She spends pages focusing on the fact that she felt like her mother wanted to cut open her neck for murder. After reading her explanation and reasoning for the murder being that you can't convince me that Grifty wasn't the one who helped Nick and who did the neck wounds to Dee Dee. Nick states Gypsy never helped with the murder, but has anyone asked him if Ruby helped him with the murder? Now, if you don't know who Ruby is one of Gypsy's alter egos that was also exposed, I believe, in Discovery because they had videos of her cosplaying, let's say, as her alter ego. Because Nick fully sees Ruby and Gypsy as two different people, and why he's so sure of saying Gypsy didn't help, because it was her alter ego Ruby that helped, just saying. By the end of the book, I was like, dang, this feels like O.J. Simpson's If I Did It book. This next one says, the sexualizing of Dee Dee was too much. I expected a memoir. What I got instead was a book sexualizing Gypsy's mom. Why? Why did we need to know how often Dee Dee's body size changed, or if Dee Dee was a virgin or not when she was with Rod? Why did I need to know about Dee Dee and her father? Because Dee Dee was pretty? That is why Dee Dee's dad liked her the best? Say what? Who would write that out for the world to see? Why is this book about fake accountability? What I got out of this book is that because of others in every situation, she did what she did. The grape from Nick? I watched a video that she said, he's eating a brownie, and later he will be eating me, all the while giggling. And yes, I've also seen that clip. Very disturbing. That didn't look like grape to me. I'm so disappointed in myself for taking the time to read a book of so many discrepancies with prior interviews and videos that Gypsy has done. This book sexualized Dee Dee so much. Who cares about her sex life? Why would would Gypsy want her own daughter to read about her grandparents' sex life and about the alleged rape? Why dedicate that to her? Why does Gypsy keep talking about when she attempted to take her mom out with a BB gun? Why hasn't she been tried for attempted murder? I went into this book hopeful that Gypsy would take accountability and left the book irritated that she got away with murder. What I noticed most is that the blame goes to everyone but her. It was Dee Dee, it was Grandpa, Protective Services, the school system, Nick, the neighbor girl, Ryan, and the content creators. It was never Gypsy's fault. These are some tall tales and really upsetting that she would trash her mother throughout the whole book. I find it odd that Dee Dee would specifically ask Gypsy if her grandpa put his finger up inside her. Why the finger question? I would be asking other questions. I just felt that was odd. Look at this one. This is an accurate reflection of traumatic memories. Traumatic memories are not recalled in linear, crisp, perfect form. They are by nature fragmented, choppy, blurry, and inconsistent. Gypsy is no longer on trial for her crime, and if you treat the book like you are either a member of an imaginary jury or you pretend to be her doctor, you'll be disappointed. Take the book for what it is. Try to take on the viewpoint of being a little girl who is living in her moment, in her reality, without having the luxury of having this whole case explained to you in your adult mind a million times already. That looks like a fake review. Okay. Another book of lies and contradictions. 1-star review. First of all, Dee Dee was never diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy. Fact. If you want to learn more about Gypsy Rose and her lies, go check out the videos by Becca Scoops. She did a really good deep dive on it. I'll put the link to Becca Scoops' channel in the description for you. That was a defense strategy for if she had gone to trial, which likely would not have held up because a corpse cannot be diagnosed with a mental illness. Every surgery Gypsy had was needed for her chromosome disorder, microdeletion, and there were only a few, not hundreds. Her medical records were exposed by her stepmother. They are now public. This is also true. Christy Blanchard actually gave those medical records to another content creator who made them public. Stepmother of the year! Funny, no doctors or hospitals can be sued, right? Wonder why that is. Yeah, like why isn't anybody questioning that? Why can't they be sued? If they were really performing surgeries that were not needed, why are they not being sued right now? Riddle me that, Gypsy. Maybe because they did nothing wrong. She also seemed to know her age all throughout the events she talked about, but also says she didn't know her age. She throws Nick under the bus once again in this book when we all know, according to the text messages that are public information, she was the one who introduced Nick to the BDSM, multiple personas, etc., and groomed this mentally challenged man relentlessly for nearly 2 years into killing her mother. She's a master manipulator who cons the justice system and now continues to grift and con the public with her lies. She's lied about so much. How can anyone believe anything she says or writes anymore? She was clearly capable of meticulously planning a brutal murder and carrying it out, but couldn't simply stand up and leave at 23 years old. She continues to this day to play the poor, pitiful victim and to collect all the blood money she can get her hands on. Shame on you, Gypsy Rose, for killing your mother and profiting off her demise. And that wraps up my thoughts on My Time to Stand, a memoir. Based on the reviews, it's nothing more than a dumpster fire of deceit from Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Honestly, the audacity of her to release the book and continue defaming her victims is beyond disgusting. She's proven time and time again that she's a grifting liar who's incapable of taking accountability, and I, for one, have zero sympathy for her. If you want to dive deeper into her case, I highly recommend checking out Becca Scoops' channel. It's linked in the description below. I'm not going to end this video by asking you to like or subscribe because frankly, Gypsy Rose disgusts me, and talking about her is infuriating enough. Thanks for watching, and let's all hope we hear less from Gypsy in the future.